Charlie, it doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie. He's BTC Charlie with his linguini charting. He loses sometimes, but hardly. He's BTC Charlie. But now he's GBP Charlie. It doesn't matter what he's charting. His trading is tough, but it's not all that bad with Charlie. He's got memes in the morning and more in the evening. It's Charlie. And when trading gets hard and support starts to lean, search Charlie.
Alright, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good everything. How's everyone doing? It's the 16th of January. The market has been, well, a little bit duller than usual. But it's been a good week since we spoke. I think last week we ended on a high. Left you with some sauce. I hope you guys played the trade better than me on JTO. This one. Looks a bit whiffy now, doesn't it? Here's what you could have had. Bruce's Price is Right. But that was, for those that didn't see it, that was kind of a live entry session on the old spaghetti and just how I look at spaghetti and high time frame price action for kind of confluence target setting and all that kind of stuff. Although obviously this target was very unambiguous, or unambitious rather. But yeah, is everyone winning? BlackRock killing volatility? Currently in effect? Yes, it is. I mean, it's been quite wild today watching Bitcoin low time frame. You know, at this point it's all over. Pure V reversal. And they can't even like break out of this range convincingly. Not yet anyway. Not yet. How's everyone doing? Are you all long and strong? You shorting? You savage bears now? Now that we've had some form of pullback. What's been the flavour of the week for everyone? How's everyone feeling? Are we still in the uptrending market? I won't call it a bull market because people hate that kind of terminology. Well, I'm not sure if the stream's delayed or you're just all very quiet tonight, but it says there are sort of 60 of you there. distribution, I think, but continuation would be cool. Blur long. Yeah, good coin. Blur, good coin. One of the few that is absolutely pumping today. Nice to see this. Nice to see this flying as well at last. Here's Blur. Yeah, I've not actually traded. I might have had 1 or 2 trades on Blur, but it's certainly not been a big intraday play for me. Look at Rune. Yeah, I'll come on to Rune, mate. I haven't looked at Rune in a little while, actually. But, yeah, I know a lot of people have been killing it with Blur. Blur coin, good coin. I was literally looking, like, all I had on this chart was marked out high time frame levels. That's it. Top is in, Capo was right, 12k inbound. They won't trap me. Yeah, classic. So what have we been memeing on Bitcoin? I am currently short from up here somewhere, and it was a really bad trade, to be honest with you. But shouldn't berate myself too much. Not trading right now. I'm gonna diddle in the middle. That's a smart kind of attitude, to be honest. I think there's been a lot of chop like the last couple of days, and I mean, I imagine there's probably quite a few longs building up in here, trying to wait for that breakout, and we'll see if we get any momentum. Obviously, we've had one fake out here, one there. Maybe third time is a charm, usually is. And obviously, in terms of like market structure, we've got nice kind of bullishness, big dip being bought up, but I'm still in my short from up here somewhere. If any of you tuned into Jim's stream last week with me and Magus, basically I longed in here. Somewhere, and then just like round tripped it and revenge shorted, which doesn't make it a great trade. It's in profit, but that doesn't mean it's a great trade. And I've been quite slow this week, to be honest with you. Had a failed breakout at Audi earlier, which if you look at like high time frame, you can probably see why I picked that. Why I picked that as a trade. And I tried to preempt the breakout, which technically we got a small breakout, and I greeded it and just held it into this mess. Yeah, that's kind of been my week, really. It's not been particularly aggressive, not been particularly adventurous. I mean, for me personally, it feels like quite a bit of risk has left the market. Oh, I've taken a couple of trades on whiff actually. Where was it? Was Monday. I got chopped around on whiff in this, but the books are so thin, as you can see by some of the absolutely illiquid moves. So let's just piss assing around really out of boredom. I'm just playing a bit of reversion. I think it was that there. Looking at spaghetti instead of price action. But yeah, I mean, if you consider what we've had in the past few weeks in terms of like lots of very, very high beta returns compared to BTC versus this, where actually over the last couple of days, you know, everything's been kind of oscillating around BTC's return, not many doing more than a few percent over it. Feels like a very PvP market. We are. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of, well, just chop. Really, which you kind of expect after a big trending move, right? And I think this is one of the things, is that people are so focused on the fact that like we had some ridiculous moves on altcoins. Like let's just zoom out a little bit. Like 2024 so far. Let's delete that. We've had some pretty nice moves on a few things. Sui tier, JTO. There we go. Bottom entry JTO. Fuel, ENS was an absolutely wild one, but quite a few have had some like decent rotations. You know, it's not been without opportunity, but equally, I don't think it's been as easy as like October, November, December of 2023. Maybe that's just me. What's the next ship? Probably hasn't even been created. It's the honest truth. There's a coin today called Troll, isn't there? That's ran to like ridiculous market cap, or not a ridiculous market cap necessarily. financial advice, obviously, but I presume this is because of Elon changing his stuff. Don't know if that's quite accurate. But yeah, just like proper illiquid shitcoin. And then goes on to do whatever this is. Hard to actually do it properly. So let's go from the lows down here somewhere. 700, 800x. Even though, look at that. Funny, isn't it? Like, look at that. And then you zoom out into what it did. What it's done now. Absolutely mental. But yeah, I'm not advocating this shitcoin. Don't own any blah blah blah. But certainly interesting to see that ETH can actually put some moves in. Or ETH coins can put some moves in like this, because most of the joy has been over on Solana. I think Rune is ready to run. Let's have a peep at Rune. For me, for BTC, it's really simple. You're probably going to see this fucking absolutely everywhere, right? Draw a range on it. Like, diddling in the middle to me is pretty shite EV. As someone already said in the chat. What is wrong with me today? I personally don't like to play around here. I think that the plus EV trades are around here or around here. I'm currently in a short from up here, and if I round trip the whole thing, I really couldn't give a shit. For two reasons. One, the short really is to kind of semi-cover me to downside risk of the entire market, because I've got a lot of spot altcoins, whether they're low caps, high caps, mid caps, whatever. But also, like, if we are getting up here convincingly and not just faking out over here and doing this, which is kind of what we did on a low time frame in this consolidation, then to me, like, that's fine. That's great. We're probably going to move on and break out of this continued trend to the upside. Sorry, I just saw someone say lost video. Chat still up? I think so. I think it might be you, but it might be me. My internet's done this before. So yeah, if we do break up and continue to the upside, then my alt bags will absolutely carry me. The altcoin beta in terms of USD pairs will be nice and easy to trade again, and we'll get some ridiculous returns on those. And yeah, general risk will be kind of back on. But personally, I think that a lot of people are going to get chopped up in this price action here, and are just going to end up being kind of a bit bored with the price action. And then when it finally does actually break out and do something interesting, your account balance will be down reasonable amounts. The frustration pattern, yeah, the kind of chop you up, the kind of indecision, the ranging pattern. What I like to see when Bitcoin ranges is just alt rotations and just play out rotations. Like, I had another good one on JTO today, but like, there's a lot like moving, and there's a lot of like consistent names being in play. You got Rex shorting CHZ today. Oh dear, what made you short CHZ? Because I'll give you one thing that I look for when I'm shorting these shitcoins is I always just look at relative strength, and if it continues to show relative strength, then what the fuck is the point in trying to short the strongest or one of the stronger assets in the market? Unless you are like a literal news trader and someone is 8-10 million in on a news trade that is actually utter dog shit, and then they start trying to unwind that position. Like, I've got nothing more than that. 15-minute chart. Did you try to fade some janky div or something like that? I think from the CME gap is more likely as we're close, to be honest. Then we revert higher. First trade in a month, yeah, it's fine, mate. Like, my trading, particularly the first week back in January, was pretty off, to be honest. It was my execution that was a little bit whiffy. I feel like I had the best part of 2 weeks off, and everything wasn't firing on all cylinders like it usually is, and it wasn't as instinctual as it was. It was a bad trade point is to try and figure out why, because I can't tell you either. Do you guys share low cap shitcoins in the Haven? We're not in the Haven, mate, so that'd be quite difficult to shell shitcoins in CBS's group. But we talk about all sorts in the Paragon if that's what you were referring to. But you know, I do speculate on a lot of low caps, but I don't talk about them too often unless I'm asked, because they're high risk, right? Pretty much all low caps are high risk, and I'm quite happy to lose, you know, however much when I purchase them, and they are like entirely 100 to 0 gambles. Right, I'm not trying to manage shitcoins on like a super low time frame and be like, well, if I get 20% drawdown on this, I'm gonna exit it. Like most genuine low caps are you sling X amount in and you just check back in a few months when you finally see it on Twitter. One that I did ages ago because one of my friends messaged me about it was this. And now look at it. Fucking absolutely dead. I didn't know it actually rugged. But I bought, I think it was in April maybe. Somewhere back here. And I chucked some money in this, and then I saw every fucking influencer and their dog shilling it up here, and that's where I unloaded. So, you know, that took months. Basically, anyone in this would have cried at me, and then when it did this, I would have been hailed a genius, and then when it did this, I would have been hailed a rugger. So it's kind of like, yeah, the joys of low caps. But again, certainly not suggesting you go and buy a 29k market cap token, because yeah, that is genuinely the future of pretty much all the low caps that, you know, aren't like doxed and have a decent team, etc. Aren't on Binance and all that kind of stuff. That's fucking hilarious though, and that is genuinely the cycle of a low cap right there. Pretty sure it was April in there somewhere. But yeah, I think I made about 50x out of it, so I must have sold some a bit higher or bought it maybe in here. But yeah, it was a long time. A long time. Trying to get long for when things eventually break out. Yeah, I think that's what's chopping up a lot of people at the moment in terms of just like pre-longing everything and expecting a breakout, and like risk-on conditions were absolutely wonderful and gracious to us, but I feel like we chop for longer in this. It's going to be interesting watching this PA develop, and particularly from the perspective of someone who is short into this. You know, I'm just going to baby pips it and just give you literally one line, and even like this as a meme diagonal, like, you know, this dip got pretty aggressively bought up, aggressive sell-off, aggressive buyback. Like for me, how we react up here and up here will determine whether I close my short up here or I just leave it going. Math went ham, yeah it did. Snow blowing the driveway, but I'll be listening. Cheers to Cryptotoski. What projects are you interested in that haven't released yet, bud? Currently looking at BFI and SVM on 8 terminal launchpad of Mantra on Binance launch pool. So I'm invested in both BFI and SVM. So, you know, take what I say with a pinch of salt, because obviously I'm an investor, but obviously when you invest in these things, you expect them to do well. That's why you invest in them. I'd also be worried about people who shill things that don't actually have a bag of them. But yes, it is hashtag influencer privileges, unfortunately. But, you know, that's part and parcel of the game. I think they'll do well. I think basically anything connected with 8 terminal does well. I tweet about them because I genuinely think they're good. I genuinely think that if people get an allocation in the form of like the ticket process, you know, it prints free money. Not free, I shouldn't say that. Not financial advice, etc. But yeah, they are good. Launchpads are usually very good. I think if you do it that way, you get 100% launch at 100% tokens at TGE, which is a huge advantage because most of investors are locked for periods of time depending on the specific investments. Do you think now with TradFi here, we don't see much significant dips like we used to? There's been a few discussions around this, like, do you think they're just going to kind of perpetually bid the bottom? No, I don't think there will be as much difference as you, well, as everyone else thinks there will be. I still think that there are quite some systematic risks in crypto generally. What they quite are and how they quite manifest, I'm not entirely sure. I suppose there was Tether. Let's just say Tether. Like, even though that's controversial and that's not the idea that I would push, I'm not going to write a 200 tweet thread on why Tether is insolvent or anything like that. I'll say that the likes of Adam Cochran, but that as a systematic risk, there is a systematic risk there, and you're telling me that just because there's now an ETF that would prevent a massive sell-off on Bitcoin, I'm not sure I believe you. USD pegged the other day as well. Yeah, maybe. I didn't see that, to be honest. Hello, Mike Toes. How are you, my friend? So yeah, I mean, for me, BTC, I'm just interested in kind of what it does next. I don't want to pre-position in this range. While we're in this range, all I want to do is try and play altcoin beta, but unfortunately, most of the rotations have been pretty poor, so it's just kind of sitting on my hands and doing a bit of research while I wait for some clear signals of strength on some like altcoin beta. It's slow. What was it someone wanted to look at? They wanted me to look at Rune, didn't they? But before that, I'll go on to ETH. I'm still on my ETH long. I've got kind of no reason to close it. What I was talking about this week in the group was just around how if we retest this kind of 2400 region, that's where I'll start thinking about whether I want to keep it or not, or just close it and take a fresh trade later on. But I'm still kind of targeting the sort of 3,300 range. If we make it that far, ETH BTC then still showing reasonable strength. Strong leg up, some nice consolidation now. A little bit of a pullback in terms of RSI, but I think that this trend kind of continues, and we see ETH BTC gradually move up. I am trying to play a next leg of like ordinals and BTC beta. As we talked about at the start of the stream, like I think that if we get some form of Bitcoin move to the upside, then I think stuff like Audi will send, and what's the other one, STX. So in terms of that kind of rounded bottom pattern and actual a bit of consolidation down here and then move up, that would be great. But I am looking at relative strength for either a trigger or a confirmation. So if I get some relative strength on ordinals, then and it's something like this and it's relative strength, I'm quite happy to ape into resistance again and kind of take that second attempt at the same trade, and particularly if we start rounding off here, and because that would give me like continuous market structure and continuous attempts into this kind of pivotal level. I think that breakout would be quite big. The way Brits pronounce tether? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me saying tether? Hey Vin, hey Mary. What settings you got for your VR VP, my friend? But it's just this. You can pause the vid or whatever and steal those. It's nothing particularly exciting or alpha. How would you find entry on auction? I haven't even got Wallop. Like, for me, you've probably just missed this move, and I would either be looking for some consolidation down here or a reclaim and some consolidation around here. And depending on how aggressive you want to be, like what I like doing is I like it to get to sort of here, and then I like aping into breakouts. And when that is a breakout on relative strength, so you're looking at spaghetti and you're looking at this coin do this, that's kind of my confirmation that actually this breakout is strong. and has a lesser chance of just going like that and selling off. So really, I don't want to diddle in the middle here. Like, this is a fucking shit entry. I think whatever is, or it's a shit entry for me. You might want to do it. You might love it. You might wake up tomorrow. It might be, you know, $100. Fuck knows. But for me and my system and the way I play the market, nah, that's not the entry for me. If I want to be really aggressive, I could go down to like 30-minute time frame, but it's likely on such a liquid shitcoin you get chopped up. Like, look at all these wicks, just kind of pretty horrible. You know, even this, like trying to play that like a mini range, yeah. I think it'd be quite tough to play this. So yeah, here or here, 2 points I'd be interested in. That's it. It's beautiful, it's poetic. You should hear how Finns pronounce it. Or tether. How can you butcher tether? Tether's quite a simple thing to say. Oh, there's one cat finally moving. Yeah, look when I logged it. Cool. That's why you use stops. Just a 37% drawdown. There you go, Pete. That is my thinking, right? My thought process, and you're welcome to it. You're welcome to my thought process, and hopefully it kind of gives you an insight as to how I teach and how I think of things. Pronounce it feather? Or the. What? No way. That's surely not a thing. Foo. Maybe I'm not like swearing in Finnish or something. Right, who's been going for whiff? Been logging tops on whiff again? Hello, Cryptograph. I'll record a voice message to me. I'm going to play that and lose my apes. Yeah, so whiff had a really nice rotation. I think I longed it in here somewhere, actually, on Friday as well, and got stopped. I longed it up here, and obviously longed it up there as well, and I did actually get a small scratch of a Twix out of the market before I got clapped. But yeah, fucking brutal. Absolutely brutal. Though it won't stop me from trying to trade it again, to be brutally honest with you. You know, even just looking at this, like, ridiculous sell-off, right? Like, even just like a meme like this, like, maybe not that high. Actually, I should be more ambitious for my target, shouldn't I, after last stream and JTO? Yeah, even just like something like that. Like, take these lows, come back, reclaim. Either sell off first, take this down here, entry 1, and then like entry 2 on like a reclaim. I like that kind of stuff. Whiffle pull a ship, not financial advice. Yeah, it's kind of like Michael Saylor, isn't it? Like, sell your car, go and get a mortgage, go and do this, put it all into Bitcoin. Yes, I would like to see whiff. I would like to see whiff show some strength here. So the two scenarios that I would actually trade, I'm not just going to blind trade this, are a mini breakout here, bosh, or a strong sell-off with the start of a strong buyback, clip in down there, and then clip in on a reclaim, probably, as opposed to meme diagonal. So literally just like building position. Don't have to wait full size straight away. Yeah, I like the notion of whiff pulling a ship. Like, the thing is about meme coins and like risk on tolerances is that a lot of people have kind of migrated to that risk on tolerance in memes. And I feel like, I feel like the kind of PvP-ness, that sounds really weird to say, of the market is back. And as that happens, meme coins get a bit less attractive. People are kind of flocked to projects with a bit more fundamental backing behind them and a bit more thought process. And I think that it's been one of the weirdest turn of events in terms of cycle and in terms of how we've gone from like low cap shitters in 2023, like anything from Rollbit to various other things. Obviously, Rollbit are very established now in the space, but at one point it was a low cap shitter that everyone fucking hated and everyone said was a Ponzi. And then sure enough, it went like 200-300x or whatever. And usually they're not the first movers of the cycle, right? It's usually Bitcoin and ETH, and then it's mid caps, and then it's pure on-chain degeneracy. So we're seeing this big spread of liquidity over on-chain and traditional medium to high caps, which I really like, to be honest with you. It means that if you want to stay in crypto, then there are low caps, and there is a huge low cap community that you can start kind of getting involved in. And some of those will inevitably rug. Some of those will just do fuck all for years and years and years and then rug. Some of them will do a little pump and either rug or just continue to exist. And some of them will just fucking do that. Which is pointless, rabbiting on, but I think low caps are the place to be. Lunsey is going to break out soon. Yeah. We talked about this last week, I think. The whole Doquan headlines. Yeah, I'm just not particularly like interested in trading this like illiquid piece of crap. Robert matter. Bit off. Well, one thing I didn't check, and I don't know if why it was even on my list, but it's been a while that I looked at Unibot. I think Unibot's done pretty well the last few days. Yeah, where are we in terms of total market cap? Let's go to this. Like this meme thing that I tweet every now and again. For me, if there is going to be like a big kind of expansive move, it's kind of going to have to be pretty soon. If we do start getting a pullback into this level, I know it's a market cap, I know I shouldn't do TA on it, but for me, it just gives an indication of what redactedness looks like versus kind of this steady up only appreciation that we've been in. Seems like a few ETH beaters done well on the Bitcoin sell-off. It's not really ETH beta. Perp's been doing alright the last few days. Yeah, this is good. So total stablecoin market cap increasing, which suggests only that new money is entering the market. Good. Faded Unibot at $17. Yeah, I faded Unibot at something silly as well. Why would anyone want that? Yeah, we got a few. We talked about Woo before, didn't we? We've just been chilling around this pivot. Obviously that was just before the old big gargantuan sell-off. I really want a bag of Woo, but it's just ranging and misbehaving. I would rather try and play this on a breakout trade essentially, or just buy some spot and just hope for the best. Just smash a stop down here somewhere, but it's such a like piss poor trade from a sizing perspective if you do that. Do you know what I mean? That is awful. Right, what else we got? You can chill some tickers today because I haven't really got much. I'm just waiting for this to fucking give me something. I'm not gonna lie. JTO's been really high beta. What was the other one? Sui. High time frame Sui. This high time frame Sui actually looks really good from like the whole listing perspective. People are going to meme like cup and handle, but it's so true that when you start getting back up there, there'll be a nice breakout play up there, I imagine. Inspect? Oh, we can talk about Inspect. I am so fucking glad it pumped. Do you know why? Not because of my bags, not because of anything like that. Because fucking somebody in my comments has been pissing and moaning about Inspect for fucking weeks. In fact, we were on stream 2 weeks ago when we talked about it down here. Waiting for another coin to pop out of this bag? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we literally talked about it there. Yeah, Tuesday the 19th. It was 0.15 down there when we were chatting about it and saying that like, yeah, that's probably the sell-off done. And now it's fucking flown. Like, what I expect to happen is everyone's going ape shit, and like that's a big parabolic move, right? Like that tends to happen when everyone starts talking about it. You breach all-time highs, and then if any of you know, one of my like favorite setups from before is that all-time high retest, and then that acts as some form of support, and then you get a continuation on, right? So are you going to ape in at the highs? Yeah, I wouldn't personally. We talked about that on whatever it was, auction a minute ago. But previous all-time high really is a pretty good indication on strong trending altcoins for some form of support or just level 2 flip. So the one that I did that on was PAL. Probably got the chart somewhere still. Which ranging, it was down here. This one. That's it. That shite. This down here and this. Like literally go back under all-time high, retest it and go like that. That there is just how I get on board strong trending moves. It usually happens. You bought Inspect at 0.1547, pretty much nailed that. Took initial out, invested on the 2x, now you ride. Well played. Yeah, you literally saved my bag, thank you. Very kind of you. Rune, yeah, you want to talk about Rune, somebody? Fucking hell. My baby. What did they do to my baby? Yeah. What I'm looking for is like divergences, like on any time frame really, to justify trying to play against the trend, which is down. And there's kind of nothing particularly interesting. You can kind of call that like a janky hidden divergence. It's just shite in terms of this bit here, and in terms of the fact that that's done that. But from like a basic market structure perspective, it's just not particularly appealing. Like, yeah, okay, that's a break, but actually it's just downtrending market structure, and it still is, like, until it takes this high here and changes, and then you get a higher low, which, you know, has confluence at this level here at like 5-1. Like, that's a much higher EV trade than trying to long down here, in my opinion. With no form of divergences, nothing like that. Yeah, you can speculate if you want that Rune's going to be the next rotation, but to be honest with you, even though I've got a bag of it and I love Rune and it's, you know, absolutely incredible, yeah, I wouldn't be just trying to blind long it here unless you are literally, you know, just trying for like an intraday breakout. But even that looks like it's gonna cool off and not do a lot, and I say that because it's just kind of, why am I doing the fib? losing momentum. Really, like, this is just janky. So yeah, I wouldn't be trying to just knife catch this. I'd wait for some form of change in structure. Unfortunately, on board Bonk. Bonk's not really done a lot, man. I don't know where you'd try and play Bonk. Actually, semi-interesting in terms of. So all I'm doing is looking at you know, what the kind of relative strength is between the two, and you know, my theory is that they oscillate between each other in the sense of if Bonk is running hard, then Whiff's probably not running as hard, and vice versa. If Whiff is running hard, then Bonk's probably not. So when you start thinking in those terms, charting like pairs like this is becomes a bit more interesting. And actually, you know, there is kind of divergence to the upside. So I did it before with Tier and Say, and that was how I caught some of the tier move at the start. This down here, like, that looks like a capitulation kind of sell-off, and like if you look at it vice versa, like in terms of like where RSI prints highs and lows, you know, it's not a terrible proxy of kind of signs of reversal. And equally, we had all of this down here and all of this. So just kind of illustrating like previous uses of it, and not just like larping about making something on the spot. So that was when I crushed a couple of tier trades. So let's have a look at Bonk. I will have a look at Bonk. I'm kind of giving you some live thought process as opposed to just. What the fuck is that? How many beers do you think I had after drawing that line? I couldn't even be asked to hold the fucking shift button. I mean, it is at a pretty pivotal place. We got to do a solid line, otherwise, obviously, price just slips through. That's a fucking joke before any of you try me. Again, I don't like just blind taking chilled setups like this. I prefer going, okay, well, this is a nice consolidation. Show me some form of strength and I'll get in it. And like that can be like literally at the top of this little mini range in terms of this price action here, and with a little bit of relative strength on like low time frame charts like this. Let's have a look. I can see Bonk, man. Yeah, Whiff getting fucked. I think, yeah, 1,000 Bonks in there somewhere. So it's not particularly interesting to me just yet, but if you want to be aggressive with it, I don't see why not, to be honest. It's just not my preferred risk appetite. But yeah, you got a real nice high time frame invalidation on it. Bannery, please. Okay. Had a nice little pump. I fucking hope that this is the breakout of this range. It's not particularly clean in terms of like this and this, but the reality is that if you look at this and you just look at how it's clustered, and obviously there was this price action over here, up here. If we start actually clearing this, then I'm hoping that this is the kind of high volume breakout for the next leg up, and that we actually start just the ascension. Would also be wise to wait for sell-off, reclaim deviation, and bid continuation. That's one of the best setups for these conditions, in all honesty. Like, really fucking simply, you'll make a lot of money if you, alright, no guarantees, but if you start looking at 30-minute to hourly charts and you see, you know, very clear range establishing, very strong sell-off, very quick buyback, very important. You know, you don't want some like dog shit, like slow grind up, just very quick buyback, reclaim, and just longing that, because you've got basically a change in market structure, you've got a range reclaim, you've got a nice invalidation. Like, you can go back and so many different charts and do that. Like, one that springs to mind is tier. So if you delete this, strong sell-off, reclaim that range, bosh, long, okay, maybe round trip it, maybe not, depending on how aggressive or not you are, and you know, you'd in theory still be in it, even though you've got a nice like range high retest there, but whatever. Like, that setup plays out again and again and again and again. We've seen Cetus. What about my aimbot? My aimbot is slowly going to 0, my brother. I haven't even checked aimbot. Let's have a look. Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's a bit of a... What's that? Someone's clearly had enough. Not ideal. I guess that one's going to 0 then. Rock pull? I don't know. I mean, I doubt it. Still got liquidity. The best way to look at it is literally go through and just see who fucking dumped. And see where they got their tokens from. But I doubt it. It's probably just someone getting frustrated with the price action on the basis of you've got aimbot doing this, and you've got, if I can spell, Unibot doing this. What's the other one? Banana. Which is actually a very, very good product. Doing this. Yeah, that 1 hour or higher time frame range reclaim is genuinely really good. Continuation, as is previous all-time high retest. So they're two little bits of sauce. Zig, I've seen people talk about Zig. Fucking hell. Oh man, imagine holding it through all this time. Did it go to fucking 0? Ow. Fuck. It's actually semi-interesting in terms of big range, big consolidation, strong sell-off, like almost perfectly touching that range, and strong buyback. That's pretty interesting, actually. I don't have a bag of this, but you know, there's quite a lot of compliments, like with this level and actually breaking a downtrend and you know, getting ready for another move up. Zig at like 0.23 average, good shit. Yeah, it's good. Just always, like, not advice, financial advice or anything like that, but one thing that's massively helped me is just always know when you are taking some profit off the table, what your plan is if it kind of starts coming back to, you know, levels you previously didn't want it to. So like if it comes back to 0.33, you're just going to take that off the table because you got in at 0.23 and you're all the way down here somewhere, and that's still a nice trade. But when it comes down to here, if it comes down to there, obviously, I should say, you know, are you just going to be like, oh well, it's fine, it's going to bounce, or what's the plan? I think dudes like Capo vexed about it. Oh, Capo, yeah. I was like, I think Capo with a C. There's a pretty big differentiation between the C and the K. Fucking hell. I was like, I think Capo with a C's only game is Bitcoin's going to 0, 12k, right? Everyone's right. Sorry, everyone's wrong. They won't trap me. I'm probably going to stop for some of the low caps. Wombat. I haven't taken a look at Wombat, but again, I've seen actually cap over the K talking about Wombat as well. I thought of Bitcoin. Oh, I will have a look at that one actually. Told this was the future of finance. Man, it's had a couple of good runs, right? I think this is what we mean by like the whole cult attention culture and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe this is the pico bottom of it for this run because I've looked at it and I'm a fucking boomer. You know, it is holding support nicely and it kind of looks like Dog with Fat before it went on a run. But I think that whole, you know, hashtag Bitcoin meme has probably faded out. It's probably been done to death, and obviously that whole bouncing ball cycle thing, it gets progressively smaller in terms of, I've drawn that terribly, but yeah, cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. If that's a cycle, who knows? But yeah. I'm gonna go back to some big coins now. Anyone buy the Soul phone today or pre-order the Soul phone? My sound keeps dropping. Does it? This is alright. Sounds fine, says computer. Yeah, probably. Well, I hope so anyway. Anyone excited about the new Soul phone? You ordered one? Oh, it's literally his computer. I got baited, boys and girls. You used to call me on my Soul phone. Yeah, I love that. Such a good meme. Like literally, my Soul phone memes were great last year. The voice goes down. It's probably just your computer muting me. If I had more money, I'd buy one. Yeah, fair. Taylor gets arrested on money laundering charges, and his Bitcoin gets seized. I love that prediction. That would be absolutely hilarious. People should ask, is the sound dropping? 99% of the time it's them. Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I haven't bought a Soul phone, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if the whole airdrop meta with them is going to continue. To be honest, I just thought I don't really want to justify to the wife why I've bought another phone. Good evening, VA. How are you, sir? Did you get your Kraken stuff sorted? Yeah, like similar with Pepe in terms of like Bitcoin. It's taken so long. Yeah, maybe your bank stopped it. For money laundering now and you're gonna get arrested. You know, Pepe just in terms of like big run, small. Really not that, like, interesting. Like, it's just such an attention-focused game, crypto. New and shiny will always dominate. Always. Always. I'm just gonna dump that. How am I doing, Martin Norby? I'm good, mate. How are you? Super popping up on the noodle. Ah, we got some perp, we got some whiff. Whiff is just someone market bought $20 worth. So that's why that's probably running. It is nice beta. Yeah, I don't have super on my needle. On my needle? On my noodle. Yeah, if people want to change their noodles and stuff, their spaghetti charts, it's really easy. You just literally add stuff. Literally just change stuff. I get that question all the time. I think most people are au fait with it by now, but maybe not. What's the other one? What's the not Sui? It's Say, isn't it? Say. Say's been on my radar for a little while. Like I've been trading it quite a bit intraday. I've had a few nice trades on it, but yeah, I'd be looking at this for another run at some point imminently. Wait for it to change market structure and maybe try and get on board. I think this will have another decent leg up. And this Ponzi for 0.81. Not a bad entry. Not a bad entry. But yeah, I mean, I spend most of my time trying to look for reasons to get long. And I mean, that generally happens. Pith is out of sellers. Yeah, we talked about Pith as well last week, actually. Well, maybe that was the one I did for the group. I kind of lose track as to what was public and what wasn't. We didn't. Later. That's good. Yeah, similar setup to JTO, to be honest, in terms of like basically down only since listing. Not particularly pretty in terms of levels of interaction. Like obviously what you want to see is like a cleaner like interaction with said trend line, but whatever. Maybe you could draw it a bit better, I don't know. But yeah, quite clear and clean in terms of that momentum reversal. Data provider tokens locked up until May. Classic. Yeah, I'm not really dabbled with it. Other shit that we got pumped in today. Some fucking random dog shit. Ah, magic. I haven't actually looked at the magic chart for a while. Has anyone got any other Ponzi's? Or trading perps in spot? Yeah. Dollar ripping. Imagine the pain. Imagine the pain if that works out. Do I ever look at flows? No, I can't be fucked, mate. I look at the biscotti and price action. That's it. I've been through phases of looking at flows, but to be honest with you, that I get to a point personally where I kind of get that like analysis paralysis. I'm trying to look at too many things of, oh my god, Coinbase is selling and Binance is buying. Oh my god, it's getting driven up by perps ever so slightly, but there's some big spot buys coming in, but actually blah blah blah. Like I can't use it very well to determine a trade thesis. But that's just me personally. There's lots of good traders who use flow. I find that momentum, as in the form of RSI, awesome oscillator, and beta in the form of spaghetti, are literally just more than enough. But I'm sure if you could put those two together with order flow, then you would be able to glean more of an edge. Yeah, trade the price, keep life simple. What's the expression that there's a, you know, your job is to basically work out whether it's going up to that corner of the chart or down to that corner, and that's it. about Audion Bonk. You're welcome, my friend. I remember to use deodorant. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning, and it got to about 4 o'clock, and I was like, I've not even had a shower today. I'm a disgusting mess of a human being. Because my wife and daughter are currently sick, so I was kind of looking after them. Types will trade using order flow, but when used deodorant. Hey, I used deodorant at least. Might not have showered, but I certainly used deodorant. What else have we got then? Big Ludo. Again, we've just had like strong moves on these coins, do you know what I mean? Like, I want some form of like chow. Who even showers every day? To be fair, I normally do. I shower every day. I think I've kind of covered everything that I want to cover. There's not really much more to talk about. CH was a really nice breakout. And that's one thing that I've talked about several times, but I've just been too lazy to do, is going through all these charts and just literally like trying to draw up high time frame pivotal levels, and particularly around like weeklies, and go, well, when am I interested in things? I mean, obviously that's a little bit late, but there are much nicer periods of consolidation where a simple, ignore that because I can't be fucked to do it again, simple alert will probably ping you into a decent breakout trade. DYDX. One of my friends has got like, how do I put it? Metric fuck ton of DYDX one load. So I kind of don't want to be his exit liquidity. And you know who you are if you're in the chat, you motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, I think if we see some form of like anything dodgy happen with any of the centralized exchanges, then DYDX and like Perp continue to be quite a nice play, because Perp's currently in play, high beta, etc. But yeah, this isn't quite there for me just yet. I prefer trying to catch that kind of move, which is usually close to the highs. I think Zai could be ready for another leg. Didn't Zai just have a massive run, which I got absolutely none of, despite the fact all my friends were shilling it? I don't know enough about this one, to be honest with you. Structurally, looks okay. But what I'd be really conscious of is something like that. And like a sell-off down to here. That's a pretty parabolic move. You get that lower high, and then you get that. Again, would I want to just long into this consolidation? Probably not. It's kind of the pullback off a bit of a distribution, strong run up, sweep the former highs, and then sell off. Like that. That's a mark to local top band to me. But yeah, that would be my genuine interpretation of, if I had to guess, if you said gun to your head, Charlie, guess what's going to happen? That would be my guess. Yeah, you got to use the spot charts. No, it doesn't make huge amounts of difference, to be honest, unless there is like a massive premium. The reality is that they're usually not enough to make a significant difference, but like if you look at like TRB and stuff like that, where it does move a bit differently between spot and perps, or it did during the period where Andre and his legends were allegedly, before I go to jail, involving themselves in slightly illicit price action. Yeah, then well, my view is you just want to be putting on spaghetti the asset that you're trading. Rebalancing, yes, that's a far more politically correct way of putting it. What's this Shouse doing? Still one of my favourite memes of all time. But yeah, boys, I think that's probably it from me. I don't think I've got too much else to go over. I think genuinely, like, the message from me at the moment is just be patient. Like, I think a lot of people, I think we're going to range for longer than people think, and I think that a lot of people are just going to get chopped up by price action. Like, if you look at this period of consolidation here, I kind of don't see, like, my two main scenarios are probably this. And I am slightly biased, obviously, because I'm short. So, draw up our little meme range. Everybody's happy, everyone likes the meme range. Something like this. Everyone gets super horny. And then we just sell off, sweep all the lows, come back, reclaim. That will be a very good long signal IMO. Or, number two, is we just kind of oscillate. We don't really do much. Maybe even like, I'll change that. I'll change my answer a little bit. I'm going to say we front run the low. And we just kind of do this for a little bit. It doesn't really do much, and then people get so fucking sick and tired of the volatility. And then it just does that. And up we go. So I think those are the more probable scenarios than us just sort of eating up. But and I'll be tempted to compound my shorts if we get that. Basically a over-under kind of move. That'll be where I add. And bam, zero, yeah, we find out that Putin was behind it, he rugs it. Putin is an anagram of Satoshi Nakamoto. And that's it. Hearing things. Yeah, I'm hearing things. I heard a rumor. But you know, it's fucking pointless trying to guess price action like this. Like, this is just doodles. This is just my way of trying to mentally prepare for whatever scenarios might happen and just deciding where I want to interact with price, because you don't have to be in a trade 24/7. Like, if you want to fucking market buy here and your target is somewhere up here, you fucking do that, my brother. Or sister. You go for it. All I can control is when I react to price and what I want to see. When I enter trades. That's it. 1G exploited, by the way. Good, another exploit. How many trillions of fake dollars did they have? Vivek exited presidential race, should see GCL return soon. Yeah. Revoke a few approvals if you used it. Yeah, great. That's another classic rug. Bridge. They're a bridge. Yeah, I know, but you know. Please check meme. Mate, my whole feed is just full of memes. I haven't even looked at meme for a long time. Yeah, it looks it's fucking messy, isn't it? Looks like a liquid shitcoin, to be honest, mate. Again, there's so much stuff that looks like it could quite easily just pivot to the upside. Shekels are safe with Kronos. It's fine, time wrecked. So many memes you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I got so many memes. Yeah, woo. You know, you've got an interesting consolidation here. To be fair, from a market structure perspective, it's still good, still intact, still at support-ish. Like, squint your eyes a little bit. Probably one of the shittest lines you'll ever seen drawn from a technical perspective. But you can see that that's quite a kind of pivotal level. Like I said, I don't like trying to be early to these rotations unless I've got reason to be. Like, so let's consider like that as just a setup, right? Let's just draw it like this, like the fucking meme triangle. Like, the reason that this is so different to ordinals and why I was happy to preempt a position in ordinals is because this is a downtrend until it isn't. And it's still a downtrend even with that decent candle in. With ordinals, on the other hand, from a high time frame kind of perspective, or reasonable time frame anyway, you've basically got these higher lows and equal highs, and you've just got that huge kind of rising wedge pattern over a period. And I'm not a big triangle trader, but what I want to see is that the demand is, you know, willing to step up to higher prices pretty consistently. And that you are with a high time frame trend at a very key and pivotal level on an asset that has been very high beta, you know, good chance it just fucking busts out, and it's the, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a bit, maybe the sort of fifth time that it's actually gonna break out and try and run for it. Like, how much could there be to sell up here? So very, very different. You know, with the trend, clear demand present, versus something that's doing this and you're trying to effectively time the bottom and say this is going to reverse here. When I share them on Tinder, they block me. Legend. Yeah, I think that's enough for me today, boys and girls. I'm not really feeling it. And the reality is that there's not really much to feel. Like, the markets are a bit quiet. Not huge amounts going on in terms of intraday rotations. Thank you, very useful. I'm glad, my friend. Beam USDT, because you sounded so fucking desperate, I will. Good Ponzi, good team, etc. This probably breaks to the upside on the basis of who's behind it. But again, this is nice. I would rather be aggressive here, assuming there was any form of relative strength. Let's have a peep. Relative strength confluence. I probably wouldn't put my stop that wide, but I don't know how liquid it is. I'd probably be trying to play a breakout trade on this, to be honest with you. Here's a good coin. Buying on perps is not called adding to my bag. Buying on perps is definitely called adding to your bag. And if you buy on perps using my Bybit ref link, that's extra EV. Which is below, by the way. And this stream is in partnership with Bybit. I forgot to say that at the start. Whoops. Maybe next time I'll be a little bit more professional. We can only hope. I'm gonna move on from Cyber, my friend. I'll get in trouble with my wife if I do Cyber with someone else. Sorry. But yes, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to love you and leave you all now. And obviously, if that's going to do that, right? It's not going to fucking just stop there just before the highs. And if it does, scam market. Those ref links but have negative fees on account, so your money comes to me. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome to do that, mate. My $1 annual trading balance that I load up for the P&L cards probably net you, I don't know, about 3 cents in fees. I think we'll probably stretch to 4 if the conditions are right. Yes, I will love you and leave you all. and I will see you soon. Thank you for coming, and I will see you next week.